Yo, wake up to Rodney. Let me set something straight. Yeah. The journalists, it's so hot in this car. The journalists who were saying that England game was dull. Listen, these journalists obviously watch a lot of football, but it frightens me. I know that they need to say something to sell papers, yeah, but look at it like this. They've obviously never managed. I've managed, right? Now, I always remember we played against Leeds University, and the Leeds just did exactly what Latvia did last night. They just tried to get everyone behind the ball, made them hard to break down. So it took a fantastic free kick to break them down. But what you've got to do is, when you come up against teams like that, you've got to break them down. And you break them down this way by doing the same thing. So if you look, every time the ball went to Rashford, right, he tried to take on the player and cross the ball. Take on the player, cross the ball. Take on the player, cross the ball. Now, at some point, either his cross will work and it'll get to someone, or they become complacent because they know that they think to themselves, the ball's going to go out to Rashford, he's going to take someone on and cross it. That's when they do something else, because it's they haven't committed the player, and then you create your opportunity. And that's how you break teams down, because they're looking for patterns, and once the pattern's set, the human brain is very hard to not adhere to that pattern. Does this make sense? So as a result, you've got a scenario where England had to use that manpower to break them down and not try anything else, really. Yeah. So listen, I just think that they're waiting for it to fail. They can't wait for it to fail. Whereas I'm of this opinion. We've played 2, won 2, scored 5, conceded none. That's great. That's super stats for me. That's up there with the best for me. So yeah, we've only played Latvia and Albania. Who cares? Yeah. And maybe when we get to the whatever it's called, the Nations League, we'll play Spain and Holland and Germany and Italy. Good, can't wait. And I'm sure we'll approach them in the way that we need to approach them. But remember, those aren't what we need to win. What we need to win is the World Cup. So let's not get carried away with, let's not try to win this as a distraction. Yeah, those games are there as better value than friendlies. So look at it again with the hard or soft. Yeah, look at it in the hard way. What's the relevance of it? What am I there to gain? Don't try and win it unless it's something that you can win without much effort, because the goal is to win the World Cup. So if the goal is to win the World Cup, don't get distracted by anything else. Don't get distracted by anything else. And it's the same, and I know I'm going to talk a little bit about, so Emma Raducanu sacked another coach. Yeah, she sacked another coach because she's now at an age, she's 21, 22, where she can make decisions. She's a multi-millionaire. She can make decisions. Now, it's the same as anything in life. Look at anybody. Look at your friends. Look at your family. Nobody believes they need anybody until they need somebody. That's it. So until she's on her until she's on her downers, she won't listen to anybody. And that's it. That's just human nature. It doesn't matter whether you're a Grand Slam winning tennis champion, or you're Tina from round the corner. Tina with 4 kids from 4 different dads with massive wongas. Do you get what I mean? It doesn't matter, who you are, you never listen to anybody until you're on your downers. And that's when you want to take advice. Until you're on your downers, you believe you have the answers. And my way of looking at it is, I've got a really good gig at the moment, a really good gig. Now, that gig could end at any point in time, so I've always got that in my mind. And the reason why I've got that in my mind, because I've had great gigs before, and they've just ended just like that. And I got upset about it. And I'm trying to find the answer, why did that happen, blah, blah, blah. These things don't happen for any reason. Sometimes it just happen because someone feels they need some self-esteem and they make something up. Who knows why people do things, but people do things that aren't the truth and aren't real. That's what people do. That's human nature. So when they're on their downers, they're happy to bring someone else down. What is going on here? So, have that in your mindset. Have that in your mindset. It's like the person who, they've been married for how long, and the husband just one day comes home and says, I want a divorce. And before that day, she thought she was the happiest she ever was. But then, when they actually sat down and thought about it, that clearly wasn't the case. They had no nookie for years. They've got nothing in common in terms of hobbies. They don't talk. But the perception is that she was happy. And this is my point. People don't pay attention in the same way these journalists aren't paying attention. These journalists aren't paying attention because they don't want to pay attention. They want to create their own narrative. In the same way, when I was at a certain college, some woman who had low self-esteem because her life's rubbish, decided to make something up about me. That's it. That's what these people do. I wasn't even there to defend myself. I was just gone. But this is what happens. So have it in your mind that anything that you think is good can end at any point in time. That way, you can get ready for it. You can brace yourself. You can build for it. Now, back to Thomas Tuchel. He's clever. So that's why he's digging out players already. He's not here to be friends with Rashford. He's not here to be friends with I can't think who the other player was. He's not here to be friends with him. He's here for you to do a job. You come on the pitch for England, you do a job. Think of it like this, and this is the one thing that I want you to take away. Think of it like this. How poor a person are you, and I don't mean poor money, I mean poor psychologically. How poor a person are you that you only perform at your best depending on how I speak to you? Think of that, let that settle in. So, when I go and teach, I teach the best. Not because someone might be coming in to watch me. Not because I might be, what's the word for it? Observed. Because that's how I want my standard in life to be, that I give my best when I'm paid to do my best. Now, think of it like this. Footballers, they say, they need an arm put round them or whatever it is. You go out there and you give your best, and if you can't, come off. The silence says it all, because at the end of the day, you're paid well regardless. So if you're paid well, go and give your best. Now, you can say, yes, you have off days. I have off days. Everybody has off days. But it's what you do on your off days. So, let's say you have an off day. Yeah, you still do the basics. You might not be able to curl in a free kick. You might not be able to score an overhead kick. Yeah, a bicycle kick. You might not be able to take on 3 players and slot it through the keeper's legs, but you might be able to get your pass percentage to 70%. You might be able to run around. You might be able to defend a corner. You might be able, this is what I mean? And this is the point that I'm making. Yeah, that you should never be in a position where you only give your best depending on how somebody speaks to you, or how somebody puts their arm around you, or how somebody motivates you. You should be motivating yourself. And if you can't motivate yourself, then you're not a person of value. Let me say that again. If you cannot motivate yourself, you're not a person of value. And I know that sounds harsh, but some people aren't. Some people have no value in that particular environment. I'm not saying they have no value as a person. I'm saying in that particular environment, if they can't motivate themselves, then they have no value in that environment. So either remove them, or they don't deserve to be there. And that's it. And, you know, I'm not afraid to make that distinction. Because it drives me mad. People looking for validation. For what? Looking for validation from where? For who? For what? It drives me mad. It drives me mad. Yeah. Yes, we get validation in many ways. You do a great job. Someone pats you on the back. Someone says, well done. Someone says, thank you. Someone says, great job. Someone says, you know, I love what you did there. Someone likes what you do. Someone buys your product. That's the validation. That's the validation. But you don't look for it. Just get it. It just comes. Just achieve it. Yeah. And you know, and if you're not in an environment where your contribution, yeah, remember everybody has a contribution, yeah, and if you're not in an environment where your contribution is valued, then guess what? Move, go somewhere else. You know, there's plenty of opportunities. Yo, I want to know where all this traffic just comes from, because I go through it and there's absolutely no reason for it. So yeah, guys, listen, like and subscribe. See you in a bit, bye.